Islanders, I'm going to be honest with you, this one's going to be tough. Just a couple of days ago, the Bahamas announced new protocols that affect every passenger, every ship, and every cruise line that visits an island in the Bahamas. They shared in these protocols that every passenger over the age of 12 must have proof of vaccination. These protocols did not match protocols of Carnival Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, among many others. And cruise lines have been faced with a decision. They could either change their protocols to match what the Bahamas is requesting in order to visit, or cruise lines could completely change the itinerary of ships and not visit the Bahamas and go elsewhere. You may have heard and you may not have heard, but I'm here to tell you there's news regarding this today. And Carnival Cruise Line in the last just few hours has released all sorts of new information that's going to impact thousands of guests over the next few months. We have all the details for you right now on Island Time. A big Monday hello to all you Islanders. I hope your week is off to a great start. I hope you had a good weekend, and we had a blast yesterday evening as we went live with you. We enjoyed the hour with you, the interaction, the tips that were shared both ways, the questions answered, the laughs. We had a blast, and you know we will do it again very, very soon. We mentioned this story today. I said last night that within 24 hours, Carnival would come out and share what they're going to do as a result of the announcement from the Bahamas over the weekend. Royal Caribbean came out within hours of this announcement, and here's what Royal Caribbean said, just as a reminder. Royal Caribbean announced that it will now require passengers 12 and older to be vaccinated. That matches the new protocols for the Bahamas, which says all passengers over the age of 12 have to be vaccinated. Those guests under 12 who currently are ineligible for the vaccine can still cruise with Royal Caribbean. But if you're over the age of 12, you must present a vaccine card just like anyone else on the ship. We knew that Carnival's decision on this matter would come in a matter of time. We mentioned last night it would be less than 24 hours, and little did we know it came really just a couple of hours after we finished our live video. We mentioned that Carnival had two decisions. They could either change every itinerary that visits the Bahamas and they could go elsewhere, which is not feasible at all. Or they could change their current protocols to match those of the Bahamas and continue sailing as they always have. They chose the latter. And last night, our family, along with thousands of other families, received an email that's going to impact our cruise. This email and this decision will impact whether literally thousands of families cruise. Of course, you can cancel if you would like. Or maybe your kids were supposed to go on this cruise with you, and as a result of this decision, which we'll get into in just a second, maybe you have to leave them at home and only adults go. Let's get right into this right now and read this letter that was received by thousands of cruisers over the next few months. Here we go, and here it is. It says, important update, changes in vaccination exemption requirements. Dear Carnival guest, you are receiving this letter because you have either been approved or applied for a vaccine exemption on a ship departing from an Atlantic or Gulf home port, i.e. Florida, Texas, or Maryland. As you may be aware, the requirements for cruise ships to enter ports outside the United States continues to evolve, and Carnival Cruise Line must operate in full compliance with these regulations. Most recently, the government of the Bahamas has announced that effective September the 3rd, cruise lines calling on any Bahamian port must be able to confirm that all guests 12 and older are fully vaccinated, with exemptions only for those with medical conditions that prohibit vaccination. Other destinations in the Caribbean normally included in our itineraries have implemented similar limitations. Given the number of itineraries that include multiple destinations throughout the Caribbean and in particular in the Bahamas, we need for us from time to time to adjust itineraries due to medical, technical, or weather emergencies, and we will now operate all sailings under this requirement. We believe these are temporary measures. This policy may continue for some period of time. Here's really the meat of it right here. This means that effective with embarkations on or after August the 28th from all U.S. Atlantic and Gulf home ports, our protocols for exemptions must change. The small number of vaccine exemptions previously issued for upcoming sailings will be limited to children under 12 and those with medical conditions that does not allow them to be vaccinated. The guest's birth certificate or passport for children, or a letter from a medical provider stating that individual cannot be vaccinated for medical reasons must be presented at check-in along with the exemption approval letter from Carnival. Unfortunately, all other vaccine exemptions previously granted for upcoming sailings cannot be fulfilled due to these limitations. If you have already received an exemption approval for anyone in your party that does not meet the requirements of these two categories, number 1, under 12, or proven medical condition that prohibits vaccination, that exemption is no longer valid. If you would like to rebook for a later date or request a refund, you can, of course, contact Carnival, your PVP, or your travel agent. As a reminder, fully vaccinated is defined as having received the final dose of COVID-19 vaccine no later than 14 days prior to the sailing date. In addition to bringing proof of vaccination, all guests must continue to provide the required pre-cruise COVID-19 tests per protocols on our Have Fun, Be Safe page. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So this letter says that for families who have children over the age of 12, you're cruising, you may be paid in full, you have applied for an exemption, and you have received an exemption. At some point in the last week, month, you received that email that you were so looking for. The email that you knew would mean I get to go on this cruise with my family or I don't get to go on this cruise with my family. We have been in the situation where we did not receive the email. We were not approved for an exemption. And that was tough. That was so tough to cancel a cruise. But now there are families who have received the email that indeed you get to cruise. Congratulations, you're one of the few who get this exemption. They've received it. They've planned their cruise. They've planned their trip. They've booked their hotel. They've taken off work. And now they've received this letter tonight that says, even if you've received that email for your children that are over the age of 12, we can't stand by it. The letter says that exemption is no longer valid. Who's at fault? It's not Carnival. It's not Royal Caribbean. They have to obey local protocols and local law. And honestly, it's not the Bahamas. They have to do what they think is best to protect themselves. It is just a tough situation for adults and children alike. To think that you got this, you're going, and now you're not going. I hope you as a family, you get it figured out. Maybe mom and dad can still go. Maybe you go somewhere else. Maybe you rebook later this year. Whatever's best for you, I hope you figure it out. I really, really do. And if we can be of any help, we will. You may think that this doesn't affect you, and I'm telling you, stand ready and be flexible. This is not the announcement. This is not the last announcement that's going to change fundamentally how families cruise and how people cruise. Be flexible. Cruising right now is worth it. It is. But you have to be flexible and ready to do whatever is needed. A vaccine, a test, a mask, Whatever is needed to cruise, it's worth it. Have a great Monday, everyone, and we will see you right here tomorrow on Island Time.